Thanks, Pointy. Yes, we certainly are almost ready for race action then. The truck's forming up on the grid. Well, despite the air restrictor on his turbo, it is Ryan Smith who has set pole position for the first of our 5 races this weekend with a 1:11.055. Second in qualifying was David Jenkins, number 69 with his MAN, but he's got a three-place grid penalty carried over from Brands Hatch, the opening round, so he lines up 5th. It's Michael Oliver in his MAN on the front row alongside Ryan Smith in the Daimler Freightliner. Stuart Oliver, father of Michael, 10 times a champion and one-time European champion on the second row alongside Stephen Powell. He had a disappointing weekend on his local circuit at Brands Hatch with a lot of problems with his MAN, so looking to bounce back here. Row 3, David Jenkins alongside David Smith with his MAN. 4th row, Tom O'Rourke all the way from Scotland with the bonneted International Navistar, starts alongside John Bowler. Now, John Bowler currently 3rd in the Division 1 points. So Ryan Smith, Stuart Oliver and John Bowler, the 3 trucks with the restrictors on their turbos this weekend. It resets to the top 3 in Division 1 in each weekend. Row 5, Martin Gibson returning to the championship this year alongside Adam Bint with his new Mercedes Actros, completing the top 10. And on row 6, a welcome first appearance of the season for Ricky Collett, the Yorkshireman in 95. Missed Brands Hatch due to work commitments. He starts alongside Neil Yates, his truck repaired after that smash at Brands Hatch in the final race. Row 7, the first of the Division 2 trucks, we have Simon Cole. We heard from him earlier in his Iveco alongside Sami Ojanen from Finland in his Finnish-built Sisu. Row 8 is the new truck of John Powell, number 6, alongside 40 Archie Handy. John Powell, the reigning Division 2 champion up in Division 1 this season. Archie Handy, son of Simon Cole with the ex-Paul McCumsky Volvo. Row 9, Jake Evans, the current points leader in Division 2. Simon Cole had a few problems, as we heard, so Jake Evans leads Division 2, his debut season of truck racing. Starts alongside young Callum Eason in, I think that's the ex-Andrew Fulcher MAN. I know Andrew's daughter Hannah Fulcher is watching. She's been in our comment thread, so she'll confirm that. Need you out in a race truck, Hannah. Row 10, Graham Poole, number treble 3. Now, he was struggling in qualifying, and Bradley Harvey will start alongside him. Newcomer this season with the ex-John Powell DAF. And again, a grid penalty carried over from Brands Hatch has put him to the back of the grid. Graham Poole, none the worse for his rollover at Paddock Hill Bend at Brands Hatch in the opening round. New to truck racing this season. It's been a bit of a struggle for Graham so far, so we hope he gets on okay, starting from the tail of the field. If you've not seen truck racing before, you are in for a real treat today here in the sunshine of Pembrey, as Ryan Smith continues his march towards a possible 10th consecutive British title. Stuart Oliver has 10 titles, but he didn't win them consecutively because of racing in the European Championship in one season.
Sylvie Fleet and BWOC Fuels, they are the championship.
Ryan Smith leads on 96 points from Brands Hatch. He's 11 ahead of Stuart Oliver. John Bowler further back, 15 points back in 3rd. Then Michael Oliver and Tom O'Rourke round out the top 5 in Division 1. David Jenkins only 6. He had some problems at Brands Hatch, a collision in race 3, breaking his radiator, so losing in some points there. And Stephen Powell a long way down the championship. He had a terrible opening weekend by his usual standards. Sadly, a lot of technical problems at Brands. So aiming to bounce back here. The GT Tyres DAF pace truck leads the trucks away. The convoy begins. Looking forward to this. 15 points, 20 points, sorry, for a win, then 18, 16, 14, 13, 12, 11, so on downwards in each division. Extra point for pole position in each division and for fastest lap. That's the 5 races this weekend. Big thanks to all the partners of the British Truck Racing Championship: Napa Auto Parts, GT Tyres, Neil Yates Recovery, Neil out in this race, MV Commercial, that's Tom O'Rourke's company, Total Care, Sylvie Fleets Management, BWOC Fuel, Transport Monitoring Solutions, Truck and Driver Magazine, Freyhav Trailers, Valvoline Oils and LTS Global Solutions. There's Graham Poole at the back. He has made it out after 1 or 2 problems in qualifying. It's Ryan Smith in the blue and yellow Daimler Freightliner on pole, the grey and yellow GT Tyres MAN of Michael Oliver alongside him. There's the Volvo VNL of Stuart Oliver. Some of the all-time greats of British truck racing on this grid. Adam Bint with the new Mercedes, number 5. Who's that at the back? That is John Powell. It's a new machine for John this weekend, so best of luck to him. Electing to start at the back for this race. Won the Division 2 title after a battle with Simon Cole last season. Watch for him here in Division 1, looking to come through the field. Stuart Oliver and Stephen Powell, good to see him back at the sharp end on row 2. David Jenkins and David Smith, no relation to Ryan, on row 3. Great to have Ricky Collett back out, the heavy haulage company boss from Yorkshire. Simon Cole's Iveco leads Division 2, alongside Sami Ojanen in the Mad Croc energy drink Sisu. Another Finn driving a Sisu, Mika Mäkinen, the Mad Croc team a few years ago, and he won the Division 2 title. Jake Evans in the blue MAN there, number 10, currently the points leader in Division 2. After an excellent opening weekend of his truck racing career at Brands. These machines, 5 tonnes in weight, almost 1,000 horsepower from their 12 and 13 litre turbocharged engines. Limited to 100 miles an hour maximum. Incredible grid of 20 trucks out on track. Ryan Smith and Michael Oliver lead them round. The convoy about to be unleashed here at Convoy Cymru. First of 5 British Truck Racing Championship events this weekend in the sunshine of South Wales. Here we go then. Pace truck is in pit lane, waiting for the red lights to go out, and then the race will be underway. The power comes on, and here we go. The charge down to Hatchett's hairpin for the first time. Ryan Smith and Michael Oliver side by side. Stephen Powell may be looking to go around the outside. It'll be Smith who leads into the hairpin for the first time. They're all going to stack up behind. Looks like the M4 on a bad day, but I think they're all going to make it round. Adam Bint a bit sideways in the black Mercedes Actros. And they have all made it through Hatchett's hairpin for the first time. 1 or 2 of them running wide on the grass, kicking up a little bit of dust. Ryan Smith leads the early stages then. John Bowler there on the outside, number 14, third in the points coming into this round. As they thunder their way out towards the back of the circuit for the first time. John Bowler side by side with Tom O'Rourke, the Scotsman in the MV Commercial Freuhauf Trailers International Navistar, gets ahead of him. Adam Bint, new to Division 1 this season with the Mercedes behind. Ricky Collett leans on Sami Ojanen. And Martin Gibson, the 101 back in there as well. Ojanen's got the early lead in Division 2. He's got ahead of Simon Cole, the Sisu ahead of the Iveco. As they head their way out off Brooklands up towards Carter's Curve, back towards the pit straights around this opening lap. Jake Evans getting past Archie Handy in the Volvo, one of the older trucks on the grid, the number 40. Under threat now from Bradley Harvey in the Weaver-sponsored truck starting from the back of the grid. Completing the opening lap, it's Ryan Smith who leads by 3/4 of a second ahead of Michael Oliver. Stuart Oliver in third. David Jenkins has got ahead of Stephen Powell up into 4th place. Through Hatchett's hairpin for the second time. Settled into single file now. It's not the easiest circuit to overtake on Pembrey. Needs a lot of driving skill to go 2 by 2, side by side in these trucks. Tom O'Rourke under threat from Adam Bint, the Oxfordshire driver in the Mercedes, who's really hanging the tail out on that machine. He's got ahead of John Bowler, so he's dropped back a little to number 14. Maybe the turbo restrictor restricting his performance a little more than it is for Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver, the top 3 in the championship, having their power hindered just a little to make things a little more equal. John Bowler currently down in 9th place. He's got the 33 of Neil Yates catching him. Ricky Collett is next in the order. And then Martin Gibson. Sami Ojanen, the Finn leads Division 2, or does he now? I think Simon Cole's got ahead of him there in the background. I saw the pink truck. Ryan Smith leads them from Michael Oliver. 1 minute 10.944. Fastest lap for Flying Ryan. That's quicker than his pole position time by a couple of tenths of a second. To the hairpin, Adam Bint up the inside, ahead of John Bowler, who's dropping away here. Neil Yates and Ricky Collett together, 12 of them for Division 1. Here's Stuart Oliver under fire from David Jenkins for third place, the Digraph Transport Morris Lubricants MAN. New sponsors for David this year as well, LKQ coming on board. Chasing now Stuart Oliver, there's Stephen Powell ahead of David Smith, returning to truck racing over the last couple of years. Having been a Division 2 champion in years gone by, it was back in around 2011 if memory serves me correctly. David Smith, we've nicknamed him Gandalf after the last race at Brands Hatch at Easter. The way he defended third place, "You shall not pass," he was saying to Ryan Smith all the way through. Here's Division 2 battle, and yes, it is Simon Cole, the Iveco, has got ahead. I remember Simon taking a few wins here in the past in his old Mercedes, the Mercedes Beast as it was known. Sami Oyanen in the Mad Croc, Sisu in second place. Sisu very successful in the European Championship in years gone by, the likes of Jokke Kallio, Harry Lustarinen and the Finnish lady racer Minna Kopala have driven for them in the past. Ricky Collett having a go at Neil Yates. All 20 trucks are still running. Graham Poole's dropped back. It's been a struggle in his career so far. Adam Bint puts a wheel under the grass. John Bowler could have a chance here to get up the inside at the crossing. I thought Bowler was, Bint was going to get sideways there. That's the battle for 8th place. And 8th place is important. Bowler's got through there, and 8th is important because the top 8 in each division are reversed to give the grid for race 3, which is tomorrow. Neil Yates has gone wide, Neil Yates has gone off at Brooklands, sliding wide, loses a couple of places, he's all over the place. Only just recovered from that big wallop at Brands Hatch, where he spun coming out of Paddock Bend and ended up on top of the barrier on the inside of Druids. Flash their way around the Pembrey circuit. Smith leads by over 3 seconds, he's away and gone. The Olivers second and third, son ahead of father this time. They got a 1-2 in the last race at Brands Hatch as well, with Stuart taking the win on that occasion. Stuart had 2 wins at Brands to Ryan Smith's 3 in Division 1. Michael looking for his first win. Here comes Callum Eason, the young newcomer. Now, both his parents have raced trucks in the past, Wayne and Joanne. Attacking now Jake Evans. They're side by side in a Hatchett's hairpin. Is that a sensible move? Nicely done, Callum Eason. He's only a young gun. The way he flicked the tail round there. Beautifully taken the hairpin there. We've got Bradley Harvey behind, and this is for 3rd place in Division 2. And behind them is John Powell in the number 6. Still developing his new Division 1 truck. Just under 9 minutes, plenty of action still to come. Here comes John Powell in the new DAF up the inside. Takes Bradley Harvey. Now he's starting to get into his stride in the new DAF XB. That's the first one of those we've seen in the British Championship. Didn't quite make it out in time for Brands Hatch. It's here today. And Jake Evans round the outside of Callum Eason very easily there. Is Callum in trouble there, or did he perhaps just miss a gear? I think that is the ex-Andrew Fulcher MAN. Ryan Smith continues to lead from Michael Oliver. We're told it's Michael Oliver's birthday today, so he'd love a victory to celebrate. David Smith under fire for 6th place. David Smith comes from West Malling in Kent. Tom O'Rourke behind him from Livingston near Edinburgh. Got into truck racing as a sponsor. Ended up sponsoring the British Championship through his business MV Commercials a few years ago, and then decided to take up the sport himself. Had a break from the sport following a big crash at Thruxton about 4 years ago. But he's back and chasing hard after David Smith here. Ahead of them is Stephen Powell in the Neil Yates Recovery and Screen Tech sponsored MAN. Bowler in 8th place now for race 3, which is coming up tomorrow. That's tomorrow morning's race, 3rd of the 5. he would have pole position at the moment because the top 8's reversed. And of course, in Division 2, there's only 7 trucks out there, so at the moment that would give Graham Poole pole position. Tom O'Rourke, bit of a mistake there, got a wheel onto the grass, chasing David Smith. Ryan Smith now leading by nearly 4 seconds over Michael Oliver, in second. Stewart's third, a further 3.5 seconds back. David Jenkins in 4th. He's still on the tail of Stuart Oliver. 5th, Stephen Powell. And then these two, David Smith and Tom O'Rourke. What about in Division 2? Can't forget them, of course. Simon Cole leading. He's lost a bit of his front bumper. Maybe a bit of contact when he retook the lead from Sami Oyanen. It's the man from Dartford who leads the way. David Jenkins going to the outside into the hairpin. That's a brave move. Get it right, and you gain a place. Get it wrong, and you end up in Buryport Village Centre. David Jenkins a little wide there, but he avoided the grass. Continues his chase of Stuart Oliver's bonneted Volvo. Great to see it back out this year. Oh, that's Michael Oliver slowing. Oh, Michael Oliver, that second place gone. He's got a problem. He's out of the race. Such a shame for Michael. Was looking for a win to celebrate his birthday. That'll drop him down the grid for race 3 as well. The grid for race 2 set by the second fastest time for each truck in practice. Bradley Harvey dodges out of the way of the quicker runners there. Saw them bearing down in his mirror. So that's going to put these two up to 2nd and 3rd now with the demise of Michael Oliver's MAN. And that's going to give Ryan Smith a huge lead in the number 1 Daimler Freightliner. See what his lead is, these two cross line. Nearly 9.5 seconds as the rest of the pack battles past Bradley Harvey's slower DAF. That's John Powell's old truck. David Jenkins going for the outside again. Again, it doesn't work. Is he trying to get the cut back on the exit? No, he can't do so. So Stephen Powell is now 4th, David Smith 5th, O'Rourke 6th, Bowler's now 7th, and Adam Bint is up to 8th in the Mercedes, the black truck there in the background. And to give him pole for tomorrow's first race if it stays like this. Of course, everybody moves up 1 place, so John Bowler would only start 2nd with the reverse grid system as David Smith puts a wheel onto the grass at the crossing. 4.5 minutes of this race still to go with the British Truck Racing Championship. Division 2 is still being led by Simon Cole. He's just over 4 seconds clear of Sami Oyanen. 3rd in that division is now Jake Evans. Then it's Callum Eason, Archie Handy. Here's a battle with Graham Poole, Martin Gibson and Ricky Collett. I think Graham's being lapped there. Still learning his way into his truck racing career. He began with a few spins at Brands Hatch and then a spectacular rollover, unfortunately, at Paddock Hill Bend through the gravel, but he was thankfully unhurt. And these two still at it. They both got out wide this time. David Jenkins onto the grass, nearly spun it. It's not been the best of seasons so far for David. He picked up some damage in the opening round at Brands Hatch when he collided with John Bowler off the grid in a damp race 3 and broke his radiator. Here's some Division 2 battlers. There's Jake Evans. There's John Powell, I should say, behind in the number 6. He's learning the new DAF. I'm sure he'll be up there at the sharp end of Division 1 once he's got that thing up to speed. And there's been some contact in the battle between David Smith and Tom O'Rourke, I think. Look at the rear wheel arch on David Smith's MAN. Hope that doesn't rub on his tyre too much. It could burst the tyre. Tom O'Rourke still chasing. There's smoke pouring off the rear tyre there as the rubber wears away. He's got just under 3 minutes to keep going, so he should keep going to the finish unless the tyre bursts and sends him into a spin. Hope that doesn't happen. Still chasing Stephen Powell. Just been told by Pointy, Michael Oliver unfortunately suffered a gearbox failure. Let's hope the team can get that repaired for race 2. He's back in the paddock now. Already Team Oliver Racing, I think, will be starting work on that truck. Tom O'Rourke and John Bowler giving chase to the smoking machine of David Smith. Now here's Ricky Collett chasing Adam Bint. This is the battle for 8th and pole position for race 3. Martin Gibson, been away for the past 3 years from truck racing, been trying out a spot of car racing as well as his development work for GT tyres. You just clipped the back of Ricky Collett there. They've survived that. There's Michael Oliver's truck stranded next to the tyre wall. Now hopefully the team can repair for the second truck race, which is due off at 3:40 p.m. Just over 90 seconds left now. It's going to be a win for Ryan Smith. His gap previously was over 11 seconds. It's now over 12 seconds. Is that Sami Ojanen slowing down? There's a bit of smoke there from the Sisu. He's had some contact. Look at the right-hand side of the Sisu. Didn't see what caused that, whether he's been off somewhere. He's dropped certainly down the order behind Jake Evans now. That's Ryan Smith, we've hardly seen him all race. He's so far in front. Nearly 12.5 seconds his lead now. He'll have pole position for race 2 as well. He's lapped Callum Eason, who's running 4th in Division 2. I think he's going to get one more lap out of this Flying Ryan. Ricky Collett still staying ahead of Martin Gibson. This is for P9. It looks as though pole for race 3 is going to go to Adam Bint. He's won here a few times in Division 1 in the past in his old Volvo white. Could we see him take his first Division 1 win tomorrow, I wonder? Great to have Ricky Collett back. Had a lot of mechanical bad luck over the years. He took a year out of the championship racing on the continent last year. Collett family have been involved in truck racing for many, many years. Ricky runs an ultra-heavy haulage business based in Halifax. Some of the biggest loads seen travelling on Britain's roads are handled by Collett's. Here comes Tom O'Rourke up on the outside. No problem at all for Ryan Smith. He's hardly seen another truck all race apart from lap traffic. Once Michael Oliver dropped out, he was away and clear. The man from Derbyshire in the worldwide truck racing Daimler Freightliner is heading for his 4th win of the season in 2 events. He's coming up to lap Sami Ojanen's battered Sisu. Stuart Oliver still second. Checkered flag will be ready this time. The clock has counted down to 0. 2 bonneted trucks together out at the final corner. And Flying Ryan Smith takes the win. No checkered flag on the pit wall, of course, for safety reasons. Smith has pulverised his opposition once again. David Jenkins catching up to the back of Stuart Oliver again. We'll have a look as they cross the line, but Oliver just gets there by 3/10 of a second for second place. David Jenkins is 3rd. The rest of them come thundering home. It's going to be Stephen Powell in 4th place. Welcome return to form for the man from Kent. David Smith comes home a fine 5th ahead of Tom O'Rourke. 7th is John Bowler. Adam Bint is 8th. And these two still at it. That's Graham Poole and Simon Cole. Simon's trying to lap Graham Poole. Simon trying to take the Division victory, the Division 2 victory, lapping Graham Poole there. Ricky Collett 9th, Martin Gibson 10th, Neil Yates 11th. Jake Evans has closed up on Simon Cole once he dealt with Sami Ojanen. But it's going to be a win for the number 41 in the Iveco. This will be his 3rd win of the season. Had a few problems at the opening round at Brands Hatch, but the Iveco well up to speed now, and Simon Cole wins Division 2 for the slightly less powerful trucks. Jake Evans 2nd. And there's nobody else on the lead lap. Sami Ojanen 3rd in Division 2. Confirm the full results in a moment. We lost John Powell, unfortunately, a couple of laps from home. Jake Evans had pulled onto the grass there coming out of the hairpin. Not sure what's going on there, but he has crossed the line. Ryan Smith, a dominant victory then. Actually showing us a lap in front because he's gone round and done an extra lap. He didn't see the checkered flag there. So Oliver the winner. Yeah, it's counted back now. Nearly 12 seconds over Stuart Oliver. David Jenkins 3rd. Then Stephen Powell. Good fight with David Smith, Tom O'Rourke and John Bowler. Adam Bint in 8th, so we'll get pole position provisionally for race 3. And Ricky Collett, Martin Gibson and Neil Yates. Simon Cole wins Division 2 ahead of Jake Evans and Sammy Oyan. And next home were Callum Easton, Archie Handy and Graham Poole all a lap down. And Bradley Harvey 2 laps down the final finisher. We sadly lost John Powell and of course Michael Oliver from second place with gearbox trouble. Be over to Pointy shortly to hear from our race winners down there, and then there'll be a lunch break of around about half an hour before we'll be back underway with our next touring car race. Let's head down to Pointy in Parc Fermé.
Well, not the birthday gift that Michael Oliver was hoping for with that race result, unfortunately. But of course, we did have Stuart taking second place overall. Ryan's got lost somewhere. He's on his way round. We've also got Dave Jenkins. Let's let him come in a little bit closer. Trying to run me over, as he does. Surely going to be happy with that result, though. We'll just get in with Dave Jenkins quickly. You almost got me, Dave, almost. What a battle that was. Obviously, Michael lost his gearbox early on. That gave you and Stuart an opportunity to move up. It was a bit of a battle of two trucks through that race, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Stuart's obviously got terrible rear brake bias issues. That's why he was having to be so cautious into the hairpin. And then the one lap where I probably just got enough round his outside to dare to make it stick. I heard him locked up. I didn't know where it was. I could just say, oh, I thought, oh, it's going to be entering through the passenger door in a minute. So I just give him a bit of wide berth on the grass there. So great racing, and yeah, I was sorry for Michael and them, but you know, we were unfortunately, we had great pace this morning, and then we were just carrying a three grid position drop from Brands that we didn't get a chance to serve at Brands because of the way the race is planned out. So that's got that one out of the way. So now with P2, I'm fairly sure we can take it to Ryan to game on this afternoon now.
Well, great first result for the weekend. Very happy. And yeah, sorry about that penalty, but you made it stick, and that's what matters.
Yeah, we, you know, and old Dave Jenkins would have got quite rattled by that, but this morning I lost the dash on the outlap in quali, so I'd got no temps, I'd got no monitoring, I'd got the speed limit defaulted back to 158, and I thought, do you know, we've just got to deal with what we've got, and then we came away with that brilliant second place in qualifying, then get the three grid place drop, and I think, oh my goodness, when's this going to stop today? But I think we've just proven the team I've got behind me this year and the family support is absolutely second to none, and without them I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am. So I'm doing the actual easy bit compared to the graft that those boys are doing. So just like to take this opportunity, thank you so much to my team and my sponsor partners, LKQ Diagraph and Morris Lubricants. I couldn't do it without them.
Excellent, thank you very much. And of course, a lesson learned there by everybody out there for what the results can be from having a cooler head, said by the man himself. A different outlook can make all the difference. Where have we got? Right, let's go and have a chat to Ryan Smith if he's not currently being interviewed. It's a shame that Michael Oliver's already made his way over into the paddock, because we would have loved to have had a chat with him. Where's Simon Cole, 41? We'll have a chat with him instead. Simon Cole, come on, here he is. Come hither, Paul. Follow moi. Ryan's looking to speak to the commentator there for the circuit, so we'll let him have a catch up first of all. Let's just get down to Simon Cole in the 41, the Beast as he's very popularly named. Here he is. There we go, Simon. We spoke to you earlier on today. Not sure whether that's gone out yet or not, but what a great result for your first race of the weekend. You were telling us about the issues you had at Brands, but now here we are, sunny Pembrey, first race, first.
Yeah, lovely. I love this place anyway. I've won more races here than I have anywhere else. It's been a few years though, coming wins again, but the hard work with the team over the last 2 years has really paid off.
It's brilliant to see, because we know you've had your troubles, but to see you back at the top there in Division 2, you know, I feel there's like a lighter air around the team in the paddock as well. Everyone's starting to enjoy themselves a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Winning ain't everything, but you can half make a difference when we come out. Now all we've got to do is sort Archie's truck out for him, and away we go.
Do you feel like now you've got yours kind of honed a little bit more, there is going to be a shift of focus onto Archie?
Yeah, there will be. The trouble we got is we're near enough 100% self-funded. So me and Archie, we're mechanics anyway, we do 70 to 80 hours a week work, and just to pay our bills, pay for the yard, pay for the truck racing. He works so hard, so yeah, we shift to him and get him up the front.
Well, I'm sure everybody at home is fully behind you guys with Cole Truck Sport, because we want to see Archie succeed. All that effort he's put in so far, and I'm sure we'll be talking to him with a trophy in hand very soon.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Quick engine swap and a few more things, and he'll be there, I think.
Just an engine swap, nothing too complicated.